Welcome back, viewers and subscribers to Full Sports TV. Now it's been a very, very long time, but season about to start tomorrow, so we got to get a show up and running again, back on the road. Joined tonight so far by Mr. 8.5, Liverpool till death. Oh, two Liverpool fans. This is not good. And Black Star, you know. Few others to join us as the program go along, but the three of us are gonna get things rolling, get the ball rolling for the season. Three of us are gonna get things rolling, get the ball really Blocks. Beautiful. You start already with the problems. Typical Liverpool fan. All right, Blocks, the floor is yours. Fellas, how was the summer? No football for 2 months. No, it must have been stressful for you, David. I see that you lost a few pounds.
Yeah, well, it was stressful, and as football fans, we surely anticipate the start of the Premier League season, and this season will be second to no other season in recent time because of the big players that came to the Premier League. In terms of Haaland being the biggest star. He's going to a team that's already been winning the league 4 times in the past 5 seasons. Even though one will make the argument that he was really brought in for Champions League.
Definitely.
Right. Of course, we signed Nunes, a player that establishment as Holland, but
we think stop them thing in a youth. Stop them disrespect in a youth.
It's not me. It's Man U fans tell me to say. One of them just text me.
Well, I was actually happy for the break. It was good just to kind of detox a little bit from football. I know a lot of Mickey Mouse competitions were going on, like the Women's Euro and all those type of stuff, which I didn't watch any of those things. I know the English fans are gonna be very excited about it, and because England actually finally won a trophy, but that's not the trophy that they want to win. But it was a very short preseason also. It really feel like it was yesterday the season end. Ending heartbreak for Liverpool and our supporters, the fact that we lost the Premier League and the last day of the season, and we lost the Champions League. The last time we lost the Premier League so close, we actually won the Champions League, and we should have again, but no need crying over spilled milk. That's not a motivation. Again, the last time we lost the Premier League like that, we came back with a vengeance and won it the next year. So I'm expecting the guys to be well motivated again this year. As David said, overall the signings this year have been tremendous. If you just look at the different teams, what they have been doing, and some teams feeling need, and some teams are trying to get as much players or any player that they can. Players who are leaving, there's a new look to the Premier League in terms of some of the faces that are going to be starring this year. So I'm actually very excited about it. I'm just looking forward, and I can't wait for tomorrow. There is this year feel like it's going to be a bit more parity, at least between, in my view, between team 3 to 10. There's a lot of teams who can shuffle between there. I still think that the big boys are going to be big boys, but I think there's a lot of parity in the league this year, and so there will be some surprises. So looking forward to it. Well excited.
So, question before I say my 3 cents. You're saying that the regular 2 are still gonna run away with it? Like you said, 3 to 10.
Oh yeah. I believe that's gonna be the case. It's usual programming is gonna be resuming in that respect, and it's just a matter of what happens with the other teams. If they beat up each other, then they can even be well behind. If they beat up each other, because that can be one of the things that actually make the gap even much bigger. Because that's gonna be the case. If I look at it this way, the big 2 are probably gonna beat these other teams, and if they are beating each other, then the gap can be very wide between them and the big 2.
Well, if I may, I know you asked the question how the summer, and it's something Blacks mentioned that I want to add to. For Liverpool supporters, it was a short summer. For the simple fact that we play every possible game that our team could play. We made it to all the finals, and the Premier League was decided on the final second half of the final game of the season. So for Liverpool supporter, it was a short season. Now, unfortunately, there were 2 disappointments, but what don't kill us will make us stronger. All right.
All right, so Blacks. Before we get into the signings, I'm gonna disagree with that, and feel like at least Tottenham will give you guys some problems. Based on we're not gonna touch on the signings yet, but I don't think it's gonna be a too harsh race this season. I don't think you and City gonna run away with it just like that. I mean, it's preseason is not a lot to go by, but judging from what I have seen in preseason, City is gonna have a late start. I don't think City is gonna have a flying start, even though we have seen past seasons where they have a slow start and they pick up momentum around about November, Christmas break, and chase down who they need to chase down, or run away. But 2 important pieces in that puzzle are now missing. So we don't know if the team is still gonna have that character or the players that they need to come in the second half of the season and do that. But as for me, as an Arsenal fan, the summer was too long. I couldn't wait for the transfer window to open, for us to do some business, for me to see which direction the club is going. And so far it hasn't looked bad. I have to give Arteta my full support right now. Well, not full support, but I have to give him some support right now. I saw the team for the first time a couple weeks ago in Orlando, and even though it was a preseason, even though it was a friendly, for me it was more than a friendly because we were playing against Chelsea. And last season, 1 week before the season started, actually, we played them in a friendly and they beat us and also injured Thomas Partey. So, this was payback for that game last season. And I like what I'm seeing so far from the team. So, yeah, the summer was long, but Blacks, unlike you who didn't enjoy the subpar leagues and the subpar competitions, I did enjoy them. Jamaica in Nations League or whatever the competitions were in. Jamaica women team making it to another World Cup. With a chance of getting to the Olympics because they have a playoff game against Canadian women. What is it, later this year?
Yeah.
That game will be. The Women Euros, Women Copa, Women African Championship. I'm not sure who won that. I know Morocco made it to the final and they were playing really good football. So, I didn't watch the finals though, but I was well fed as far as football is concerned over the summer. So, it wasn't as bad for me. But yes, ready. All right, start off with signings. And lots of signings, like Black said earlier, lots of world class players coming over to the English League, or world class players from other teams joining teams that were probably subpar, gonna make them a bit stronger now. So the competition should be way better this season. Not that it was bad last season, but I don't see Liverpool and City. Well, Liverpool to me has gotten stronger, so they could unfortunately run away with it. You know, they could really create some damage. The good thing about it is they're battling on all 4 fronts, all competitions. So hopefully that can slow them down or hamper them somewhat. But if they were supposed to concentrate on just the league, it's hard for me to see a team right now, except for Tottenham. Because Tottenham signings, well, chemistry is one thing. So if
So,
with the
can
players
you
Tottenham brought in,
look at it in this context? Which teams are you impressed by in terms of a signing? So just kind of summarize the teams that you're impressed by in terms of performance.
Tottenham won. Um, as a mid-table team, I mean, I like the signing of Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko for Arsenal. I gotta give.
I think
Those
those are good signings.
Yeah, those are two really good signings. The kid, Fabio Vieira from Porto, he's also really good. I mean, he's kind of fragile, but trust me. I mean, if you go back and watch the game that he played against Liverpool last season in the Champions League, just go back and watch that game, and you will see that was the game. I think that was the game you guys got Luis Diaz took a closer look at Luis Diaz from.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that game, he really stood out. It was him and Vitino that really stood out in that game to me in the midfield. But unfortunately, PSG had more to offer Vitino money wise, so he went. But yeah, Vieira is another good signing. So Tottenham, Arsenal, City has brought in two good players in Haaland and
Well,
Calvin.
City did feel a need in that they needed a centre back all along. So they did feel a need. Is that how the need is gonna be integrated in the team? I think that's gonna be one thing. Yeah, you're right. Arsenal signings I think were good. Aston Villa earlier in the season did some business, I think, which are good business. Diego Carlos, Coutinho, they signed permanently.
Yeah,
Kamara was also another good signing, and that they did. So
I haven't seen him preseason.
yeah, but overall, I think it should be a good season worth of signing for them. There's also what the name Newcastle. That boy Sven Botman that they signed. I think that's a very good signing for them also from a perspective of getting a solid defender inside there. That's something they kind of needed. And I like how Newcastle is going about their business. They're kind of fulfilling need. Nothing is too flashy. They're just basically going about their business and saying, listen, we need solid players. We need players who are going to fit a role. Right now, they haven't made any splash. With all that money that they got, you think that they'd have gone somewhere else with it, but they really haven't gone that direction as yet. So you're still a way to see that happen. Manchester United, you would know more about Lisandro Martinez than I do because you know everything about Argentinians. I'm not sure how great a signing that's going to be. He's a little man. He's shorter than my son, and he's only 8 years old. But it's I'm not sure how well his game will transpire to the Premier League. Again, he could be a great one, but I think that's going to be a adjustment for them. The second part about Newcastle did also, they had Nick Pope. Nick Pope is a bloody good goalkeeper, and that's somebody that when you go out and get a player like that, I think it helps the team. And the other team that I wonder what's going to happen, we were talking about it earlier, is Forest. Forest signed 13 new players. and good players too.
Yeah, there are some good players, but
some good players in that mix.
What a point, David. 1 minute. Chemistry can be a hell of a thing. Remember the last time Fulham came up and made a bunch of signings, they went back down right away. They spent 100. What was it? 100 million or 100 million?
Yeah.
Fast, and the players didn't have time to gel. So I am not one for. I mean, I understand you're coming up from the championship and you want to strengthen your team, but
no, they had to though. Most of the players they used last year were rentals. All loan players and stuff like that are players out of contract. So it's not like they basically were just getting rid of their players that they had of a set team. The fact that they use a lot of players who came from all over the place last year to get to this point. So it's not the difference is the championship of more games. The competition is not the Premier League competition, and you can have things like the playoffs. You can sneak into and get stuff done. So that's kind of different. But I'm impressed overall with the quality I think that they have, and if they can find a way to get that to gel relatively fast, I think they're gonna be one of those teams that can mean. I don't expect them to be in top 10 or anything like that if they gel. But if they gel, they can be one of the teams that are gonna be one of the surprise package of this year based on the signings that I saw from them.
All right, Blacks, get David.
David.
Right. So I'm impressed with the signing of Tottenham. You have and they really didn't have much of a choice in my opinion. They have a world class coach in Kante that that took over the team last season. I believe they were in sixth place, not even sure, and was able to have those players perform on a high level where they finish third place or fourth place, not sure, but they finished in the top four. Now, in terms of City bringing the biggest star that was available out there, and they bring in a good defensive midfielder from Leeds United, Philip. But the players that they lost, I really don't think Holland could contribute enough for Jesus and Sterling. Now Arsenal pick up a good player in Jesus. He finally could get his 90 minutes. You don't have to necessarily worry about being pulled if you have a bad game. And he's been impressive so far in the postseason, in the preseason. And I get a chance to see the team 2 weeks ago in a friendly against Chelsea, and I was impressed. I was impressed with the knocking of the ball. So that's a team that I expect to do well. They should compete with Chelsea for top four. One more thing. Now, I don't see Liverpool and City running away like they have done in the past. I do see Tottenham closing the gap somewhat, but not enough, in my opinion, where bypassing one of those two teams in whichever order they finish, which I hope Liverpool will finish number one this season.
Neither wishing well. Alright, so David, so you finished, by the way? You're through?
Another team that mentioned Everton made some good move. They're bringing two Burnley players, a defensive fullback and the attacking player. And it's a player that I've always liked his game. His name is eluding me at the moment. So Everton did even though they lose Richardson, they bring in some good players.
I don't think Everton did enough. I think they needed to do some more business. I just don't think that actually the player that they brought in recently, that Burnley player, I think is one of the best things that they did. But and they did get Tarkowski also from Burnley, so they on a free. Dwight McNeil will help. And what it basically will do is that I think last year, earlier on in the season, Everton players just didn't get up for the fight. They just weren't in for the fight. And that's one thing that I think those two players will help. But I still, from a quality standpoint, I don't think they did enough, and they need a bit more quality. And they basically lost their talisman. And when they lose a talisman, you need to bring back one in, and they haven't replaced him. And if he's not scoring goals, because the last 10 games of the season last year, he scored all the goals for them. It was a purple patch in my view for him, but he scored all the goals. And who's going to score them? Because Calvert-Lewin, I think, has scored 10 goals only once.
Well, he was a lot. But not to cut you off. Young Gordon, I think, would have a breakout season with Everton.
I think so too.
He was very impressive last season. He just didn't have finishing quality. And
asking him to carry them.
I'm sorry?
Is he enough? That's the problem.
That's not gonna happen.
He's just not enough.
They need a striker right now because Calvert-Lewin is injured again. I don't know if it's the outfit they went out wear.
Well, it's a dress. If man walk around in dress every day and spiky and heels, so I expect him to play football in that.
Heels or something, but he's injured again. I don't even think he was a preseason game. I think he was probably in training, but he got injured. He came out yesterday, I think.
Maybe have a catwalk or something.
So they have no striker starting the season. So they're gonna have to go out and do some business real quick.
Well, Barcelona have a whole bunch of them that they don't want, so maybe they can go and get one of them.
Well,
Italy don't want to go to Everton,
I think they're going to fight relegation. I do think they're up around relegation.
And unfortunately, Lampard is gonna, it's not gonna look good on him because he didn't do that badly at Chelsea before they got rid of him. But at Chelsea, at least he had some quality players there. He have some decent players at Tottenham, at Everton, but he hasn't been able to
But
motivate.
the problem with Everton also, they can't spend because they're one of the clubs who have spent too much money, and it's affecting their ability to go out and buy. So they're gonna probably wait until the end of the window.
Teams like Liverpool scam them and charge them 30 million fee. Oh no, that was Arsenal. Charge them.
Okay. Guys, I was trying to sell Axe to them because right now Axe could go, man. Because this time the Axe they didn't sell Axe because Axe have a new baby. Sell him to Everton, make him go over there. He doesn't have to move.
Blacks, real quick. The Lisandro Martinez point that you made earlier. So his height could be considered an issue in the Premier League. But we see where Chelsea were trying to get Jules Koundé. And him and Jules are about the same height. Probably Jules probably have him a little bit, I'm not sure. But I think they're about the same height. Now, Arsenal were chasing Lisandro Martinez, but to my knowledge, Arteta was planning to use him as a left back. Because he's a very good passer at the ball, very good ball control, very good pass at the ball. So Arteta was planning to use him as a left back, but Ten Hag, because of his time with him at Ajax, like him as a centre back. But we also saw Ten Hag use Daley Blind as a centre back, which wouldn't work in the Premier League. So probably Ten Hag still hasn't realized that, look, the Premier League is a different beast, and some of these players will get eaten up, by these opponents in the Premier League. So let's wait and see how that works out. But yeah, he's not that big in stature. You don't see too many you don't see too many defenders that size, a diminutive centre back like that working out in the Premier League. Honestly, I can't really think of one right now that has excelled. You see them in Italy or in Spain, but in the Premier League or even the Bundesliga, you don't see that happening.
The issue that I have with him at United is that United is not a ball playing side, at least the last couple of years. They don't have a lot of the ball. They're not the ones who control games. Because if they're controlling the game and stuff like that, then he'll be great. But if you don't and you have to actually defend against the Premier League attackers, I think it's gonna be much harder. If he had gone to City or Liverpool or a team that control the ball, I would be less of an issue in my view. But the fact that he's on a team that there's quite a few times last year I see United playing against Everton or whoever and have less than 50% of the ball.
Yeah, his speed will work in his favor, but in terms of physical duels, I don't know how that is gonna work out. He's Argentine and he have a bit of grit towards him, but
Jim Brown has said that height don't have nothing to do with that. Jim Brown is about 6 foot something right now. Tell me no, Jim Brown, if you playing against this little midget, what would happen? I am sure you would just bully him. What are you talking about? I've seen you on TV playing. They score some beautiful goals sometimes. So I can put that in. These little short defenders couldn't stop you. So why do you think they're going to stop Darwin Núñez and Haaland?
Hey, Greg,
roadkill?
Is he a similar size to Otamendi? The ex
No, he's shorter than Otamendi.
Okay.
Shorter than Otamendi. Otamendi have a bit more nasty to his game. Otamendi and Rojo are your typical Argentines. Martinez is a bit more of a ball playing defender than them. Even the one at Tottenham is a bit more rugged than him. What's his name? Romero? Yeah. Romero is way more rugged than him. But it might work out in their favor. I'm actually surprised they went for him, probably because they realized that we were trying to sign him. I thought the coach would have gone for Timber. Timber was the more solid defender in that Ajax team. I watched him last season and I thought he would have went for Timber, but he went for Lisandro Martinez instead.
Well, as I said, just overall, I think that could be a challenge, but it could be an opportunity there. If the coach do implement his playing style at Man U, when he wants to have the ball, then it would be a different thing. But I'm not sure they have the team to do it right now. Them still have some parts that they need to fill in to do that. But enough on those Red Devils.
So you mentioned something about Newcastle.
About who?
Newcastle.
Well, one of the things also we didn't say anything at all about that. Liverpool did sign a player for £64 million. Who is an excellent striker. A lot of teams were after him, and we can say he rejected a few teams to sign for Liverpool.
What team was that?
No, we have a call on names.
No. Listen, not because they're no Man U fans.
But he's one that can be for the present and the future. He's only 23 years old. He played 2 games against Liverpool last year, and I think the young man was excellent in both games. He have a raw speed, and for a person of his size, I still think it'll take a little time for him to gel in the team. If he hadn't scored in that Community Shield game, I think he wouldn't even have started on Saturday. But I think now he probably earned his right to start in the Community Shield. But still,
Put him in my fantasy team.
I think he's gonna be a good fantasy player this year. He will score a goal.
Well, the only problem with that is there is so much quality in Liverpool team, and you only could pick 2 players for fantasy. So
Jota is injured.
It's so difficult.
Jota is injured, so you have 4 of them left to pick 3 from.
Yeah. So
your fullback stuff. But quickly, Chelsea.
Sterling.
The business that Chelsea has done so far, not only Sterling, they have bought in Koulibaly, who I don't know if he still have it. The little that I saw from him towards the end of that Arsenal game, he's still pretty solid. I mean, I know you don't like to see Mo Salah. Not many defenders like that, if you ask me. But they brought in Cucurella as well. Now they have 3 left backs. I heard that Barcelona are trying to get.
No, they didn't bring Cucurella. They haven't signed him as yet. Brighton came out today and said, "No, we have not. You have not signed him." But I heard that he has done the medical, so he will be there. Fact of the matter is, I don't think unless they go through the same thing one last year, because their fullback position they were already good. It's just a matter of that they got injured.
But they're looking more fullbacks because they're trying to get Denzel Dumfries. They say either Dumfries or Kyle Walker-Peters.
Yeah. But as I said, they had good fullbacks already. So I don't think that's the issue.
It's the German Southgate coaching them. So he likes.
He played 5 of them. I understand. So my argument when I look at Chelsea, this is what I say. Oh yes, they may bring in some more fullback. That's not gonna move the needle in my view, because it's only if their actual fullbacks get injured that those players are gonna become some form of a help to them, because they already have 2 of the best fullback in the league. They lost 2 central defenders and they brought in Koulibaly. Koulibaly can fill the role that Rudiger played. He can absolutely lead a defense. The guy is a monster. I think that's a good signing.
They lost some speed there, but continue.
But will they have enough to go with him? I'm not sure from that perspective if they have enough. I think they still need another centre back. Sterling is a good signing for them. He has speed. The only speed that they really had up front was Timo Werner. But when he doesn't run. He doesn't really carry the ball with him. So that was always a problem. And he doesn't do anything with it when he run with it. Sterling will kick the ball in the back of the goal. So that is something that is going to be helpful for them. But they lost their leading scorer. As much as they want to talk, Lukaku was their leading scorer last year and they've lost him.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think Chelsea need a striker. Well, until
I don't like the sound of it, but
until pen hit paper, they need a striker.
I don't know if they have spoken to Barca yet, or they're just talking to the player. He probably wants to leave because Lewandowski is there now,
Of course.
but not necessarily because if Barca was his dream and he's getting game there, because he can play wide, and these Barca youngsters get injured every other week. I mean, Ansu Fati is injury prone, Dembele is injury prone. They want Memphis out of there. The coach you haven't heard anything that they're not happy with Aubameyang being there. So they might want him to stay. And like I said, with these young players being so injury prone, he might be partnering Lewandowski. He might have to play off the wing, but he did it a lot. They played together at Dortmund, and that's how he played.
Right, and since he's been there, he's been impressive in my opinion. Now,
Yeah.
let's go back to Chelsea and the players they brought in.
Travis.
They bring in a world-class player in Sterling. Sterling is a world-class player, and now he will get more game time to even show what he's capable of doing. Koulibaly is also a world-class player. Now he may not be where he was 4 years ago, but I still think he's good enough. The only concern is they have two aging player playing central defense, so that could be a problem. But Chelsea need a striker. If Chelsea get a striker, they will be fine.
I don't think strikers are one of the issue right now. I think because Kai can play as a striker.
Yeah, but what if he get hurt?
I think midfield. They are lacking a good quality midfielder right now. I mean, Kovacic is a hard worker.
But Mason Mount? Mason Mount?
I mean,
he has been good.
A hard worker, yes, what you call blue collar kind of footballer, but is he anything special? I don't see that.
Call TV ball and ask him.
He's not a game changer. I don't think
he's not. I mean, sometimes he surprises you with a shot that you didn't expect, and he runs all game, but I mean, he's just a more attacking Jordan Henderson, if you ask me.
Okay.
Jordan Henderson wins stuff. Leave me alone. What's wrong with you?
I'm just saying, he's just a more attacking Jordan Henderson. I don't see anything special about Mason Mount. And like I said, Kovacic is just the hard worker in the midfield here. Now, if you're going to have Kovacic and Jorginho, who's your game-changing midfielder? If you have Kovacic and Kante, who's your game-changing midfielder? Probably that's why he's trying to bring in more wing-backs.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, because that's the thing.
Probably trying to attack from the flanks. But
which is what they do.
But then you would probably need a Lukaku in there. You're not going to have Sterling jumping over a 6'2" defender to buck him up.
But again, it's according to how it's played. Liverpool played for years without one of those type of midfield that you're talking about. It was Gini, Fabinho, and Henderson for years.
Come on, dude. You had two fullbacks that were leading assists.
But they have two with the potential to do the same thing. Chilwell, listen, remember before they got injured last year, they were riding high. They still weren't Robertson and Trent, but they were riding high. And
Reece James is up there, but the coach doesn't seem confident in him. Why, I don't know. To me, Reece James, Cancelo, and Trent are the three best right backs in the world, not just the Premier League. The three best in the world. I mean, it's hard for me to. I mean, I like Hakimi too. It's tough for that for me. But why you going after Dumfries with Reece James there? And you just signed back, and you just signed back, what's his name? As a backup. So you're gonna have three right backs. And if you get Cucurella, you're going to have three left backs.
But the thing is, the Chilwell and Reece James get injured every year.
That is correct.
And last year, when both of them get injured at the same time was when Chelsea fall off.
Chilwell, Reece James not as much.
No, Reece James been getting injured very often lately. Yes, he has.
So I would say overall, Chelsea, I think, still need to do some more business, but they do have almost a month. So I do expect them to do some more over that time period.
Actually, every time they get linked to Barcelona.
Whatever happened to Rafinha going to them? I thought that was a done deal.
Rafinha said he doesn't want to go to them. Rafinha wants to go to a broke club.
Every time Chelsea think they have a ball at Barcelona.
That's what I'm going by now. Like Barcelona seem to have been hiding behind a tree and wait until Chelsea decide that they're going to buy someone. They just run out and say, no, come on, let's come to Barca, and then the players just go. It's ridiculous. Like, they did no scouting this year.
And then they blame us for Rafinha going to Barca and say, oh, it's because we beat small. He would have probably even fought to Arsenal, because they have some connection with Edu.
Yeah.
As soon as Chelsea jumped in with more money, was like, nah. And his agent is a former Chelsea player, and he couldn't even convince him because Deco is his agent. And Deco couldn't even convince him to go to Chelsea.
But Deco is a scout for Barca, so...
Yeah, but when Barca call you, you have to answer.
Yeah.
Even though they have...
That was Barca back in 5 years ago. Not necessarily.
So from a signing perspective, and so let's look at them. So we've talked about a bunch of signings. Who you think, and look at it in this context, not just who is the best player that was signed, but in terms of, you can look at the team need, you can look at it from a perspective of fit and overall expectation of performance. Who you think is going to be one of those signings in a year look and say, man, that was a bloody good signing for that team?
Jesus, did I stutter?
I agree. I think from the perspective that you guys needed a striker.
Fam, Jesus saves, fam.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Jesus saves. David, who you think? Who you look at and say, this player, when you look back, when we look back at the season, we're gonna say, man, that was a good signing. Maybe that was flashy, but that was a good signing.
Well, it's hard to argue against Jesus. He looked like he's going to be the real deal. A change of venue, more freedom. Don't have to worry about getting sub. Arsenal might finally show what he's capable of doing if given enough playing time. Other than that, it's hard to say. I mean, I want to say Holland got to be very impactful, but City already was a dominant team, winning the league 4 of the 5 season. But Holland, I think Holland going to be really good. And last but not least, I think the biggest impactful player will be Nunes. This young man is hungry. And he's still raw in terms of his talent. And one thing we know about Jurgen Klopp, when he's given young players to mold them and what he expects of them, rarely does that player disappoint. So I'm going to go with Nunes. I think he will surprise a lot of people. Yes. I noticed when you're picking strikers so far.
Well, and that's why I'm looking the other places and see who else. We talk about Sterling. I think that he has an opportunity to also shine at City, at Chelsea. One player I think that probably can be, he's old, but I think Perisic going to Tottenham is gonna be
the player that I was thinking about was Bissouma, though.
I was looking at Bissouma too, but I also remember last year they got the other guy there from Southampton. When name Højbjerg.
No, it wasn't last year. It was 2 seasons ago. He been there.
But remember Højbjerg playing last year. Put it that way.
Okay.
I don't see Bissouma being so much of an upgrade on that position because I don't think they needed to upgrade that position, and it's good to have more quality there.
It's just that.
I don't see Bissouma upgrading so much. Just the way Højbjerg played last year, because to me he was one of their best players. And the fact that they went out and get somebody basically to replace him, it's kind of
they have Champions League football. They do need to go.
Not only that. Højbjerg plays one way. Bentancur plays one way. Bentancur starts your attack. Højbjerg is the one that breaks up the opposition attack. Bissouma brings both.
Yes.
Bissouma brings both. So that is the difference between Bissouma and both of them. Bissouma plays on both ends of the ball. He's not just a defensive player. He also starts attacks. He scores goals. He's very comfortable on the ball. Just when Bissouma have the ball, and you see teams try to press him, how easily he gets out of that press.
And that's fine. And again, I think he's a great player now. I'm just saying the incremental increase. I think
Arsenal can go Tottenham.
Oh no, every team should be. Liverpool could have used him as a backup for Fabinho. Imagine that. You know?
I play him alongside it.
You know?
Sometimes you don't play Fabinho and Henderson.
And I'm playing 4-2-3-1. There's a lot of that, you know. Man, you could have used him if they cost about McTominay and Fred for years. They could have used him easily. He could have slot in that side. He could slot in any top 6 side.
The thing that surprised me is how much Tottenham pay for this player. I would have bet that he would have cost more.
Did they thought Arsenal
was sporting an Arsenal jersey? That's how much he wanted to join Arsenal. From last summer, the man has sport an Arsenal jersey. He was an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
I've learned it over the years.
Okay.
Who come out and say they're a fan of the team. From Wenger was there, I've never seen it happen.
I guess it just didn't work out.
I don't know what Arsenal, but it was a good buy. But again, I think Perisic was probably gonna be, to me, it's gonna be one of those signing of the season. Those are the signings. So again, which signing then you think is gonna be the flop, the one that you think just not gonna work out? You know, somebody go out there and have big expectation for, but just not gonna be that person.
Jeez.
Go ahead. Seeing that you bring up that question, why don't you?
Well, I already started to talk about one that I think could be fall in that category, and is Martinez. I think he can. It's a risk reward, so it's either that he's gonna be a hit or he's gonna be a flop. I don't think there's no middle ground for him. It's either gonna adapt well to the Premier League or he's gonna just get bulldozed. So it's one or two, but I don't think he's the one. Honestly, the player I think is gonna be a flop. And enough people, I don't have a lot of ratings for this player, and it's Richarlison. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know why the hell he's at Tottenham. I just don't see him working out.
Champions League football.
But again, no problem. They pay $60 million for him. I don't see him working out. I don't see him.
Same player I was thinking. Like, same player just crossed my mind.
So that's the player I think is going to be the flop. The buy who's going to be the flop of the window. I just don't see Richarlison being that player.
Listen, if Richardson could accept his role, then he will be fine. But if he think that he could just get
what his role?
Well, his role, in my opinion, the front three is Kane, Song, and Kowalski. I think that should be the front three, and then you have Richardson just rotating either.
Not even the first player off the bench. Well, in my book, at least. I mean, Lucas Moura is next player off the bench, if you ask me. Next attacking player off the bench.
But Lucas Moura have fell down the pecking order since Lewandowski, the Swedish player, came in last. You notice that?
That's what I'm saying. So Moura is the next player off the bench. You know, unless Kane needs a breather, and Richarlison is gonna go in and play striker. But if he's playing on one of the wings, I don't see him as first man up.
Kane really need a breather.
Kane doesn't come.
They got a very good right back too. He's another one that I'm upset about. Spence, yeah, because that kid ripped us and ripped. Who else he played? Was it Manu? They knocked out 2 teams out of the cup last season, and what have me so upset is he was not owned by Forest. He was owned by Middlesbrough. He was on loan at Forest. Arsenal were doing business with Borough because our young striker, Balogun, was on loan at Borough at the time. So it could have been an easy deal, you know? And they got this kid for 13 million. He shut down Arsenal left side in that cup game. Shut down Martinelli and Tierney. Both attacking and defensive wise. And Tottenham getting for 13 million pounds. This kid is gonna be a hit. I mean, I can see him taking away Emerson Royal here, especially if they play in a back three. You know, this is probably, if we're looking at an under the radar buy that you expect to excel, I see him as the one.
Okay. That's good. David, so who is your player you think is gonna flop? I need to hear yours. So me and Greg, we agree. Me is Richarlison.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. While you were contemplating as to who you was going to go with, that's where my mind was. So you kind of steal my thunder. But as I said, it's all about his attitude. If he wait for his opportunity, and if he could maximize his opportunity, then he will get more playing time. Because right now, that Tottenham team is a very good team with all the players they have brought in, and so it's a big squad right now. And we know he's the kind of player that, I mean, I don't want to say sensitive, but he played with a chip on his shoulder.
Very sensitive.
Richardson. And when he don't get things this way, he creates a scene because
who is your flop of the season? Buy.
Hold
He's gonna be the flop. That's the question.
Go back to last season when he was with Everton and there was a penalty.
And David,
and he basically wanted was to take the penalty when he was the penalty taker. So that is the kind of attitude. If he could adjust his attitude, he'd be fine.
Well, he's not gonna get in a penalty with the Hurricane there. So
well, right. That's what I'm saying. If he could just fix his attitude, he should be fine.
Think about that.
What's that?
So he won't even think about penalty.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Everton. I'm not talking about Tottenham with penalty. I'm just going back to last and the attitude he had when he didn't get things his way. So,
I don't know what is Leicester not signing nobody.
And they lost somebody, not just they also lost somebody.
Michael move on.
They actually lost their
Bojo, who gonna be the flop of the season? Who you think gonna be the flop of the season?
Flop by.
Which signing?
I hope it's Basuma. Bad mind. Straight.
We don't want the emotion.
Yeah. No emotion, no heart, brain no. Who's gonna be the flop? And next time you join me, let me introduce. Don't just jump in abruptly like that.
My bad. Not to backtrack, but Jesus am I signing of the season. Hopefully.
Okay. Flop of the season.
Yeah, it's
kind of tricky.
It's a difficult
tricky. Blacks, me like the point where you bring up about Richarlison. And me think him should have stayed at Everton. He want to play Champions League, but then you have to look on the fact that I World Cup here. And I think he would have get more game time staying at Everton, obviously. But
you can be playing a lot and playing at a small team and your country don't look at you. So unless he was gonna be
he was in the Brazil team while he was at Everton.
Yeah, but unless he was gonna be scoring tons of goals, he wasn't because Jesus gonna be scoring. Jesus is on that plane. And Firmino gonna be on that plane. So depends on how many strikers they bring in. He might not have a slot even if he stayed at Everton.
I hope Firmino is not on that plane.
He's good. He brings something different.
Why not Blacks?
I'm glad Salah is not on it. I wish all Liverpool players
from a Liverpool perspective.
I want all of them to stay and don't go on the plane. So we are fresh and ready for the second half of the season.
I can bring up something like it kind of off topic, but it kind of piggyback off our Blacks. I say the quote with the Napoli owner say him not sign no more African players.
Write it down how we get to that. We still the band signings.
No, it kind of piggyback off our Blacks. I say, but all right, go on.
Go ahead. So yes.
Go on.
You agree with him or you disagree?
Oh no, me disagree with him.
And you're
every player is supposed to want
for disagreeing with him. No, all right. For the viewers that don't know what Buju is talking about, Napoli's owner came out and said that any African player that he's signing from now on in have to sign like a waiver saying that they will not leave and go represent their country at the African Nations Cup, which is played in the middle of the season, around about winter. For a month? Start early February. So he doesn't believe that the club should have to go through that, and he will be signing any players unless they sign something saying no, they're not going. We've seen over the years where players' international career have ended. You have to look no further than Liverpool, where
Matip,
essential defender named Matip,
yeah,
basically give up his rights to play for Cameroon because he wanted to stay and represent. Was he still at West Brom, or had he just signed for Liverpool?
He was at Liverpool when he did it.
Was at Liverpool when that happened? Okay, so it was him and one from West Brom called Neon that did it. That African Nations.
And the good thing about it, Cameroon went on and won the Afghan.
Yeah. they did with an even weaker team, you know. So you say you disagree with his views, Bujo. Why?
Because, like I said, every player should be given that right to represent them country. Me no feel like you have to use that against the player. Say, um, oh yeah, you have to sign a waiver. So you're now no. Every player, for instance, Brazilian players, me know for a fact. No international team no mean more to them than how it is to play for Brazil. None. None.
So
That's just
basically,
my personal opinion.
right. So basically, what you're saying, Buju, Napoli owner is not giving that tournament enough respect.
Well, I would jump in and say yes. From this, listen, me, the man just basically shows his true colors. I've been to Italy and I've seen the colors over there, and I don't really like the colors. He just kind of shows his true colors. And he's not the only one who feels that way. A lot of European clubs have the same thing. He's just the one bold enough to say it. So that does kind of change things a little bit because he's bold enough to say it. I think it was a horrible thing to say. I think it's a horrible view to have of African football, and just kind of show the disdain that them have for overall African football, the administration, the overall thing, you know. And they think that somehow their leagues are more important and than African football on a whole. And it's you have seen what has gone on in Italy, the chanting, the racism that has gone on, and the only reason why it's happening, it's because it's Africa. It wouldn't have been said if it was any other continent doing it. It wouldn't have been said if it was any other, if it wasn't for the skin color of the players who are found in there. That is the reason, and no one can tell me any different. That's what I believe. I can understand a team not wanting to lose players in the middle of the season, but they have winter breaks. You have all of everything. When Mane went left last year, Man Salah, they basically missed 3 games, and England doesn't even have a winter break. There's breaks in Italy. So normally the most game the players miss is sometimes 2 games in Italy over that time period. And so for him to take in that such a drastic stance, you know, so there's something else there other than just the fact that they're missing some games. So from that perspective, that's why I don't support what he's saying or like what he's saying.
You think that will cause a lot of African players not to play for that club based on that statement?
No, African players still will go with the opportunities, and unfortunately, that's how it is.
But it's given the option. If given the option,
so it will stop the biggest and the best African players to go, because they're the ones who have more options.
Right now, he has one of the best strikers in Africa, in Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, and him have him right there now. But put it this way: if Osimhen was on the market right now, would Osimhen want to go there after hearing that? I don't think so. I think he would lose out.
Probably not. And this guy is very hard to do deals with because you see how long teams trying to get Koulibaly. I mean, him and the Leon owner, Daniel Levy to an extent, that's Tottenham big man, but Leon owner and this dude from Napoli, like they're the hardest to do business with. I mean, players will stay there till they're ready to go to the MLS or go to the Chinese league.
And Spurs, I can't leave him out.
Yeah, I said Daniel Levy.
Oh,
before they even get a chance of leaving that club. But Koulibaly came out yesterday and spoke out against it and, basically said that he has no right to speak about the African tournament like that. And if it was a European competition or South American,
of course not.
Express those views. Now, if you ask me, Kush, why Kush have a problem with David wearing a scarf when Florida is hot? Read the comments. Anyways, as a fan, not looking at it from the racist perspective, I could say I understand where it's coming from, but those measures would be too drastic, to say you have to sign a waiver. If you just come out and say, they probably need to try to reschedule this tournament or find a different time in the year to play, which is going to be hard, by the way. Because summertime in Africa, it's rain and heat. You cannot ask the players to play in those conditions. You know, lots of thunderstorms, and when it's not raining, it's extremely hot. So summer competitions in Africa, especially West Africa, is basically a no-no. That's just not gonna happen. You know, so changing the time of the year that it's played, it's not really gonna happen. But you know, for him to say he's gonna take those drastic measures, I mean, players having to sign waivers, and over the years, like a lot of the players that have really done good for his team, or most Italian teams, are African players or players of African descent. So you know, he's probably gonna rub some players wrong and gonna lose the opportunity of signing some African players in the future.
Well, the thing is, remember, this is Italy also. They don't really sign top players who are like on the height of the game. Most time, if you reach that level, you want to move out of Italy. Napoli doesn't really sign that. They did get Osimhen last year, but again, I don't see them being in the market for some of the top ones. So the ones which are at the second level, which we'll be looking at it from a commercial standpoint. A lot of players will still go there. Again, look at the racism that's in Italy, and a lot of you would say, personally, like me, I would never sign for an Italian club based on some of the things that I've seen happen in Italy. But again, a lot of African players do sign for Italian clubs just the same way. And even though they know they're gonna face that because they say we're doing a job, it's an opportunity, and they do all of that stuff. So I don't think that's gonna change from that perspective. But it just rubbing around.
I think it's got to change a little, because if I'm an African player and I know this owner came out and said what he said, and I'm looking for an opportunity, but I have options, then I will take those options instead of going and pay for Napoli.
They're not the only ones though, you know. The owner for Watford, is he Italian? Because I know he owns Udinese and he owns a team in Spain as well. I don't remember the team in Spain. But if you remember, last African Nations Cup, Dennis, the Nigerian striker for Watford, he did not go. And they were really depending on him. They were looking forward to him coming. And he did not go. Now, Osimhen did not go because Osimhen had an eye injury. You remember when, like, I almost... Yeah, so Osimhen was not fit. But Dennis did not go either. And Watford, I'm not sure where the owner is from, but he also owns Udinese, who is in the Italian league.
Right. So Dennis didn't go. That is correct. Dennis represent Nigeria, yes?
Well, he's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And over the years, we have had. I mean, even the English league. If you notice, at one point, both Wenger and Fergie were having issues with signing African players because when it comes to that time of the year, they were losing a lot of players. I remember one season, Arsenal were missing like 5 players. You know what? Toure, Eboe, both of them were gone, and Gervinho, all 3 of them were gone to Ivory Coast, and we were missing like 2 more. You know, so it became an issue for some of even the Premier League coaches, but like none of them came out and said.
Well, listen, they could learn something from Liverpool and your club, because we lost 2 of our best players
For 3 games.
I'm sorry?
For 3 games.
We lost 2 of our best players to that tournament, and we didn't skip a beat.
But you have and that's part I think I'm said from Liverpool when we lost the 2 best players from our team last year for the cup. It was for 3 games, and the Premier League, you actually lose more players, more game because of that time of the year is normally stacked in the Premier League. In Italy, they break. There's a break in between there. There's the same thing in Germany, in Spain. You know, there's a break. So they sometimes only lose 2 games. 3 is the maximum amount of games that they lose. So it's nothing like say it's such a significant impact on their game. Yeah, but it's what it is.
Enough.
Move on from that one.
1 hour. Quickly, before we finish signings, 2 under the radar signings that you think, like players were probably not signed for big money, or I expect to do a whole lot, even if they're on a big team.
Carvalho.
Real quick, God damn it.
Carvalho.
Alright, I didn't plan to say one more.
He's one more.
Yeah.
I really like what Newcastle do. That boy Sven Botman, what they signed that defender. I think he's gonna be a good one. He's gonna help to solidify that team. So I do like him as a
Because they got rid of Lascelles.
yeah. Well, they needed to because he's
Went to,
great.
is it
Yeah.
Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
I
He's
think
great.
was it Middlesbrough he went to?
I'm not even sure he went, but anyway, they threw him.
You said Lascelles is crap?
Yeah. He's terrible. I think he was terrible.
Newcastle has struggled for a few much years. Like Lascelles are the only man that started for the years.
No, but the last two, he has been crap. To me, he has been crap.
Recovering from injury.
Again, maybe that's the reason why he's been crap, but that doesn't change that he's crap.
Okay. Who's
I
winning?
Big boy.
don't think Basuma was Tottenham signed Basuma for a lot of money. I was
Yeah,
expecting
say,
that.
man, you're not going to get that. Not that easy.
No, I think he would be very impactful for that team.
Let me see. Okay. One more. One woman you bring.
That's all I have for now.
What's
You did call another one though, Greg. That boy Spence, that Tottenham signed.
my two is Spence and
Yes.
Leeds sign a winger from Feyenoord, Luis Sinisterra. Colombian, just like Luis Diaz, play similar. He's not gonna play this weekend because he's injured. But trust me, I saw a lot of him last season because I watched Feyenoord because Reece Nelson was over there, and his game is good. His game is really good. So yeah, Jed Spence and Luis Sinisterra, those are my two under the radar. I was gonna say Carvalho and Sinisterra, but because Carvalho and he's gonna get games for Liverpool this season. That kid is magic.
Well, with the 5 sub, he definitely got to get a game.
Yeah, that kid is magic. Bujo, which two?
We don't have to, no.
All right, one. Give me one. And those are Zinchenko in cost enough money.
No. But like the McNeil signing to Everton.
Yeah, Mike, it's a good player, but he went for 20 grand.
Yeah, you know, I rate him
20
from
million.
I rate him for a long time, but is Everton a good squad right now, though? You know, I would probably prefer seeing him at a Leicester or a Crystal Palace right now. I think that one of those two would have been better.
But
Evilly,
hold on.
would have
Who
been
is that other? Who is that other player that United signed? That right back or left back?
What is
Left back.
back as well? He's
What's his
another
name?
left back. No, it's not Mukuli. What the hell is that again? He's coming from Dutch league as well. I don't remember.
Yes, that player.
You think thing they are gonna
Was
do?
the internet a move shaky?
For me?
Yeah, you alone miss a lot. Who is
Seriously?
yeah, ask blocks. I don't mind one.
No, Greg, you're good, I know.
Someone can
That's a great thing.
someone can
Great internet solid.
no internet, I did the laptop. Change the computer.
Great internet solid.
Yeah. So okay. So under the radar, those I think are some good option there too.
Bro, you continue to type. Boy, you're under the radar player. Don't say nobody from Man U. Oh, you know,
Greg,
Man U have a local player who, if they, I think they're gonna keep him. If they keep him, what the hell they call him? Is it Zlatan Iqbal? Something like that?
Oh, I saw him in their last warm-up game.
No fear kid in the midfield. Yes.
In was it?
He looked like something special, you know?
Yeah, in was
Hopefully they send him alone and don't keep him. But yeah, Man U fans, I gotta give you that one. You have another gem coming out of the academy, you know? Like,
him seems solid.
like what's the winger from last year? Elanga. Might impress just like Elanga. Bojo coach say Nashville internet cheap, man. I must say a Pharisee dog living in man. I be a tree around Nashville. Anyway, move 4 minutes.
Moving on.
Predictions. Top 4, well, top 6 and teams well, top 4.
The order the top 4 and relegation.
Top
Right. So top four. The two usual suspects in
what
No,
order?
you have to pick a winner.
Really?
Liverpool. The way Liverpool finished last season, just 1 point behind City. And we have seen this before where I believe it was 2020 or 2019 when we produced 97 points and it still wasn't good enough. And we went on to win it the following season. I think this would be a deja vu. So I pick Liverpool to win the league. I do. City will come in second. Tottenham third. And for fourth place, it was a toss-up between Chelsea and Arsenal. But I'm not sold on Arsenal defense, so that's my only concern right there. So that's why I'm gonna put Chelsea in fourth place. Now, if you're gonna go all the way down to six, I'm sorry. If we're gonna go all the way,
got a better defense than us.
I didn't hear you.
You said Chelsea got a better defense than us. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay.
So I see Arsenal finishing in fifth place, but a very close fifth place to fourth place, and I see United in sixth place. So that's my top six.
That.
I'm what's your three teams to get relegated?
My three teams is Leeds United, Bournemouth, and I'm gonna go with Fulham.
All right. So like you're Phoenix. No, you see, you weren't watching the game.
I did look at the game.
And you don't think our defense has improved? You don't think Saliba has added 50% improvement to that defense?
I didn't look at the game as a sprint. I look at the game as a marathon.
Okay.
And Chelsea have some good defensive fullback in Reece James and when healthy, Alonso and Chilwell. Crucial. Now the central defense would be somewhat shaky, but they have some good defensive midfielders. So yeah, I'm going to give them a slight edge.
So Allman. Anyways, Saliba has improved our defense vastly. You know, no questions about that. I mean, I know Blacks right now wouldn't mind he was a Liverpool player. That's how much he has improved our defense. Now, I have been watching him ever since we signed him 3 years ago. You know, I've been watching him. Every time he was out on loan, I tried to watch their games. And trust me, he is a matured player on there. I was arguing last year why we spent 50 million on Ben White and didn't go out and sign him. Some Arsenal fans still tell me that buy was needed and he needed another year on loan. I didn't think so, but you know, hopefully work out the best for us. Anyways, as far as the top four, I'm gonna agree with you with winners. Right now, the way preseason has looked, with City not gelling as yet, as of this moment, I'm saying Liverpool. Now, if you guys slow down and City start to pick up momentum, that's a different thing. But I don't see City having a flying start like seasons past, you know? And I don't see them catching you guys if they don't start good. So I'm going Liverpool. Arsenal will cook the Premier League this season. I would have Travis man. I'm going Liverpool, City, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Now, as an Arsenal fan, it hurt me to say Tottenham, but I'm gonna be honest. I can see Tottenham if the team gels, because they've brought in a lot of different pieces, and sometimes that tend to mess with the team chemistry. But he has had. You notice you don't see Tottenham play a whole heap of friendlies either. You know, like some of the other teams. But they have been doing a lot of training overseas. I mean, and
intense training.
Intense, more endurance training they have been doing. So we can actually expect them to be a pressing team this year based on how I've seen them training. You know, they might be playing a different kind of football this season. But I see Tottenham pushing the normal too.
Yes, I agree.
I see Tottenham pushing them, but I see Arsenal pipping Man U for the fourth spot. Not Chelsea, Man U. I don't see Chelsea as being as big a threat as Man U right now. Chelsea's coach is very disgruntled right now. He does not like the squad that he has. Even though Ten Hag is still trying to get some players that he hasn't gotten yet, you don't see Ten Hag complaining about the squad that he has right now. And you don't see Man U looking as low as Chelsea is looking.
You realize how many Man U players left the club, right? How many players they lost?
So Greg, who you think going then? Who you think falling? Who you think going out? Who getting kicked out of the league?
Everton. Forest is dropping back down. And who was the third team that I picked? I did not pick Fulham like David, and I don't know why he thinks Leeds, because Leeds is a good team. Oh, Brentford. My three: Everton, Forest, and Brentford.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford.
Yeah. That was a first season momentum they were riding. Brentford don't have. Trust me, if you look at these other small teams like themselves, to me, Brentford don't have the quality that they have. I think it was mere momentum that kept them up last season.
All right, so let me. So Everton. I'm making a note here. Everton.
Yeah, right. Because we tend to forget.
Brentford. And who was the last team?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham.
Okay, all right. So again, so far there seems to be consensus who we think gonna win the league. I do think Liverpool will have what it takes to cross the line. Mosquito come inside of my house, man. The hell?
Focus.
Hey, one mosquito come inside here, man. We have to fight him. So I do think Liverpool will be winning the league this year. Man City will be second. I don't think it's gonna be close with the third place. I think it's still gonna be a gap. I'm still seeing a 10 to 12 point gap between second and third this year again, the same way.
Okay.
One, because I think that Spurs have improved, Arsenal has improved, Chelsea has somewhat regressed, but I think they still gonna have enough. And regardless of what, I think Man United will be in the mix. And I think what will happen is that there's gonna be a big fight between those teams. But I don't think any of them are still good enough to beat Liverpool and City and their deal. And from that perspective, you may end up.
Man U beating
points.
Man U going to 4 in a preseason.
But again,
Man U going to 4 in a preseason.
Messi better dog man as flea kill, brother. What you talk about? But well, you're right. They did give us 4 in preseason. Woohoo! And actually got a trophy for it too. Remember that? I saw them hold up the trophy.
Leave it alone.
I do think it's gonna be Liverpool, City, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Man U. I think that's how it's gonna play out in the top 6. For the relegation fight, I think Bournemouth is a lock to be relegated. I think I'd bet $100 that right now they'll be relegated. Bournemouth will not make it. I agree with you, Greg. I think Brentford is not gonna make it this year either. And Fulham does like to go up and down like they are yo-yo. So they are yo-yo club. They will be doing the yo-yo stuff again this year. So those are the 3 clubs I think are gonna be out: Brentford, Bournemouth, and Fulham.
Bournemouth is a good show. Bournemouth is a good show to get relegated, but
I think they're a lock. I think I can guarantee they will.
They have a decent coach. Oh, by the way, I see Burnley coming back up next season. Company got them playing some wonderful stuff.
They lost a lot of players.
Who? Burnley?
Yes.
And your point?
Okay.
I've watched them. Company have them playing some beautiful football. They don't look like the Burnley under Sean Dyche. Nothing close. They lost a lot of players, but they brought in a lot. You know,
Okay.
they have 2 good youngsters from Chelsea and loan. And trust me, this I don't understand. Now. Chelsea have some young players where when they see them out there on loan, they look excellent. But as soon as they drop another Chelsea team,
Stuff from through Bank and Gallagher.
look at Gallagher. But it's facts. It's not just him. Whenever the Chelsea players return from loan, I mean, we haven't seen them. David, you and Blacks were saying Chelsea don't have any striker. They haven't used Armando Broja in the preseason. He was racking up for Southampton last season. And
Well, does the coach trust him?
they haven't used. Come on, David.
The coach doesn't trust anybody other than Kai Havertz. That's the only person he trusts.
We saw the player last season.
Of course.
Arsenal were interested in him at one point. He's a good young striker.
And West Ham was trying hard to get him.
Yeah, this coach just confused, man. They have striker.
You know, saying that, I forgot one of the flop of the season is gonna be that one that Fulham signed, Pereira, the former Man United great. Andreas Pereira.
What's your top four? Yeah, escape it.
Bojo, come on. Right. Prediction.
But I want Liverpool win the league, but the league bully them are going to win the league again, if you ask me. 85 points to Liverpool, 81.
All right, let's jump.
Yeah. They're going to be more points. They're going to be more points.
Over 90 points again.
No. 85.
Go ahead.
More teams are going to take points off of City and Liverpool this year. Watch.
Okay.
And the nice in here was them over London. Tottenham, sorry to say, third, and Arsenal fourth.
What kind of Arsenal fans are these? Picking Tottenham to finish all of them. Jeez. No,
and who you have finishing?
Tottenham have a better manager and them squad deeper.
Who you have finishing 5th and 6th? That's curious.
I mean, a toss up between Chelsea and Man U.
Okay.
And I don't know what Greg are doing now. But I defend the Jamaican in a Bournemouth side, So I have Fulham a drop. I say Leeds escape relegation last year by them teeth, and them a drop this year. And Brentford.
You're junk, boy. Leeds are relegated. You're junk, man.
We say Leeds escape by the skin of them teeth.
Okay. The coach have a full preseason with them, and he's not a bad coach. Let's remember that. And they get in 2 good players. They get in
All Everton, me could have called another conversation. Because them should have get really
good. Say your 3, make David put them on the Excel. See David there in the Excel I've printed up.
Record is there.
Yeah, man.
So that's Bournemouth, Brentford, and Fulham. Yes, Buju?
No, he said Leeds.
Or Leeds.
Yeah.
So Leeds, Brentford,
no, he said Bournemouth because he's saying him like Rico Henry, the Jamaican. So it's not.
So Brentford lead.
No, bro.
Mr. Brentford lead now.
No, Mr. Bournemouth are still, but I'm not him me talk about.
Oh, which other Jamaican you talk?
Remember Jamal Lowe, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Rico Abala too.
So who's the third team? Who's the third team that got relegated?
Bournemouth, bro.
So I have Brentford, Leeds United, and who else? Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham match up again, man.
Okay.
Why? Because they get rid of Michael Hector. You upset with him?
I want to tell you what, man.
Oh, Hector the worst baller, man. Hector definitely not supposed to be there.
A jiggy baller that, man.
Nah, my baller.
All right. So the final topic is what? Golden boots. That's where we at.
No. Oh yeah. That quick?
Yeah. So let me go with that. I'm going to start off with that one. It hurt me to say this, but I see Harry Kane within the Golden Boot, but it's going to be a close finish with Salah. So I have Harry Kane as the Golden Boot winner.
Salah.
Why do you think it's going to be close with Salah? Liverpool goals are going to be shared more this season, because Diaz want goals and Nunes want goals. I remember they're not as selfless as Mane. Well, Diaz is selfless, but Nunes ain't gonna be as selfless as Mane and looking for Salah all the time.
Right, I know that, but Salah have a hunger for goals. Salah have a hunger for goal, and he have won.
Yeah,
he been in the Premier League 5 seasons. I'm sorry.
You can have people pass it to him to remember. Normally, you have, apart from the wing backs, he's playing with Mane and Firmino, who's always going to be looking for him.
Right.
He's going to be playing now with Nunes, who wants goals. He's a number 9. That's why you bring him there.
Right.
He's more goal hungry than even Salah. You see me? Diaz might not be as selfish. Diaz will look for him. You can see that in Diaz's game already. Diaz is quite similar to Mane, if you ask me. No, so Diaz will look for him, but Nunes is not going to be doing that. So the goals are going to be shared more evenly this time. Sure, Liverpool. Yes, he's going to get the penalties, but apart from that, some of them wide open goal that Mane used to give or Firmino give, he better praise the Firmino fit and play more games.
Right, and I hear you. Salah been with Liverpool.
Kane and Haaland are more runaway favorites, if you ask me. If Haaland, fine.
I'm not ready to crown Haaland with the golden boots. I'm going to give it to Harry Kane, and
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Harry Kane. Harry Kane going to win golden boots this season. And
remember Son is still there and just won it.
What's that?
Remember Heung-min's son is there and he just won it.
Oh, I know, but that will be a one-off.
Okay.
That'll be a one-off.
Fair enough. Blacks?
Golden boot?
Yeah.
Well, I will start betting against Salah when time somebody show me that he's not gonna score a goal, and nobody can show me that he's gonna score a goal. It doesn't matter what's happening. The thing with Liverpool last year and even the year before that, it's not because we didn't create enough goal for everybody why other people didn't have enough goals. We missed a lot of goals. So what I'm hoping is that Nunes converts one of these opportunities that we were missing last year. So if that's the case, we should be all right. And Salah will get his same opportunities then.
I think he will.
I do think he's gonna be the top scorer. And if it prediction hold that Liverpool win, he's also gonna be the player of this tournament, player of the year also. So I think he's going for another double, player of the year and top scorer.
Okay. Greg?
Oh, Gabriel Jesus. No, honestly, this is how I feel. This is not
possible.
Eh?
It is possible.
Yeah, he's gonna be carrying that goals load, and you can see how hungry he is. And especially with it being a World Cup year, he's gonna be gunning for it. Supposedly, what Edu said to him that kind of sparked him was, they said in a meeting before he had signed, Edu said to him that you need to find back yourself. Because remember, Edu was the Brazilian manager, not coach, but I don't remember, but he had the Brazilian team, TD, yeah. He was the TD before he joined Arsenal. So, he had a relationship with them. And supposedly Edu said to him that you need to find back yourself. And he was like, what? And he was like, you're not happy. You're not playing like how you were playing before, like how I know you can play. You need to find that back. And honestly, he seemed like he has found it. I've seen where people said that Arsenal doesn't create as much as City. True. But at City, he was barely playing 9. Most times he's out on the right wing. He wasn't playing as a central striker. So at Arsenal, he has that freedom, and like David alluded to earlier, if he has a bad game, he doesn't have to worry about that he's going to be on the bench next game, or he's going to be subbed if he misses a chance. He might be subbed within the next 5 minutes.
You're not going to take his game?
Eh?
You're not going to take his game?
I think Nketiah going to get some runs, but we are in the European League this season too. So, Nketiah game will come. But Jesus, like I said, hunger, and the fact that he wants to make the Brazilian team, and he have a point to prove. Remember when he just signed him, he almost took Aguero's game before that injury.
Yeah, I can see that happening though. I can see him being one of the person challenging for that golden boot next year. I can see it.
Aubameyang won it when, to be honest with you, I think Jesus have more to his game than Aubameyang. Aubameyang is fast and can finish. Jesus can dribble. Jesus can turn a defender inside out and score.
When Aubameyang won it, didn't he also share it with Salah and Mane? I believe that's it.
It was 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to mention about the golden boot. So, Boji, you could think about this. The player that won the golden boots in the past 4 out of 5 seasons also was on penalty duty. So go ahead, Bushy.
So you don't think Jesus gonna be on penalty duty? I wonder who puts it in front of him.
No, Saka is on penalty duty.
Arsenal don't have money to get penalties.
What no worry.
Bojo, your goal.
So, only from when mom says,
Tell you internet I move shake, you think I shot me attack.
Salah?
Okay.
yeah, me feel something.
All right.
Salah the penalty as David.
Haaland, people,
Like you say,
people in the
no.
comment section. Push. No, Haaland. Where's Shane? Shane commented earlier and disappeared.
Well, on the Greg, me I said, none of them are selfish like Salah. Salah are going to get the golden boot. None of them, nobody. None of them are selfish like Salah.
Yeah, but
Bojo, Salah lead the season in assists last season. He lead the Premier League in assists last season.
That not mean nothing.
yeah, because Jota scored.
Him still selfish.
No, me get what Butcher said because earlier I said that Nunes and Diaz might be trying to do it for themselves. So he's making it known that Salah can play that game too, but you're gonna need somebody to give the ball to him for him to be able to do that.
Well, again, I'm really not concerned about Liverpool individual players doing whatever like that. Because I think there's enough chances being created on that team
Agree.
for it to go around for everybody. So I'm not like people have been saying that about Salah being selfish for years and whatever like that. And yeah, there are some moments and he could have made a pass and didn't. But in the scheme of things, and look on the overall season and whatever what happened during the season, he creates as much. He's the leading creator in the league over the last couple of years.
Sorry for cutting. You could have 3 players with 20 goals.
Easily.
4 with 15 goals this season. Because Diaz can end up with 15. And Jota, Nunes, and Salah can end up with 20.
Yeah, it can happen.
Wow.
So I'm not concerned about it from that perspective. So.
Good thing your midfield garbage and your defense.
No, but that's why we have the little young Carvalho because he can put them in.
No, I'm not talking about attacking wise. I'm talking about defensive.
Okay. But my defense is going to be doing its job. We're fine. We're fine.
Our defense is solid.
If you don't play Matip.
Well, the other 2 are injured.
Wait
a minute. Didn't you see Konate in the Champions League final? His performance.
You guys just give Konate some credit. So I'm not even a year on the talk about Konate.
I was surprised Klopp gave him the start in in the final.
When Konate get by now. I mean, I tell you, Jiggy calm down. The kid young. I mean, Upamecano that everybody did a rave about, he's actually better than Upamecano. So just give him some time. And like I said, Klopp played him in the Champions League final. He's a good player, but I think Matip is a cut above them.
No, but the problem is you need speed. You need the speed of Konate beside Van Dijk. You need. That's why Gomez was a good partner for him, and I think that's why Konate is a good. Konate can run down anybody.
Matip not
Matip run that son.
Konate quick feature. He's damn quick.
I'm glad Blacks bring up that. As David said, Arsenal defense is suspect. Saliba forward in the team and make Gabriel game so easy. Easy.
No worry. David will know who is Saliba this season.
But when we're talking about under radar signing, and even though he's not a signing, I should have said Saliba. Saliba is because he wasn't signed just now, but this is his first year going to play in the league. I think he can be the difference between Arsenal finishing top 4 or not. I rate that young man that much. I think that he can be the difference. Apart what's going on with Arsenal, Saliba can be the difference between them finishing top 4 or not.
Oh, and we lose the best goalkeeper in Ghana, Fulham. As a goalkeeper.
I thought Ramsdale was the best.
Ramsdale is the best with using his feet. As a goalkeeper, when you pay them for those save goals, Leno is a cut above Ramsdale.
So who's your backup? Who's your backup goalkeeper?
The American kid.
Oh yes, of course.
Turner.
Okay. All right, so we got through the standing, we got through top scorers, best signing, flop of the season. What else we have to go for?
Look who's here. Arsenal finally have a good football side. Yes, string me. I know you rate the ball. I know you rate him, G.
What I think.
Chelsea, who not bring it? Who else?
Coach of the season, naturally, we're going to go with whoever win the season, yes?
Well, I don't think that's natural. I think there's a lot more things. I never subscribe to that just because somebody win this. That's why they are coach of the season. I believe that I have to look on overall performance of the team, expectation, all different type of things that people have to go through.
Yeah.
So I never look at it that way. But I don't really care about coach of the season because I could do less. All I want is that my coach don't mess it up and let us win the thing. One other thing that I want to look at though, I think I want to talk about is that, like, in terms of one other thing that I'm looking forward to this season is the 5 change rule. The fact that you're gonna, they have made a few rule changes, but that one I think can be pivotal this year. One, because it's a World Cup in the middle of the year, but two, Klopp and Pep, especially Klopp, has been crying about this for the last couple of years. He has been whining about
Let him credit him.
Yeah, man. Man, I've been whining about it. So finally, there's gonna be 5 changes, and I think it's gonna be. How is this adjustment gonna be for some of these coaches? Like I see, Pep last year in a few games made 1 change, and his team was losing 1. And I see Klopp always made the same change almost every game. Well, Jiggy will tell that at the part of that time, so you can call Milner, and Milner is gonna go on the field.
Well, no,
And change. They don't use the change. Will they use up these players this year? Will that keep the teams fresh? Will the fact that the World Cup is in the middle of the season, how will it impact individual teams? Teams that have more players gone to World Cup, will the players be tired, or will the players be sharper when they come back in January? It's gonna be fascinating looking at those 2 things this year.
Well, listen. I think that's a great segment to talk about the changes, and of course, I think the teams that have deep squad will benefit the most with the 5 changes. But I also want to talk about the other changes that have been made. One of those changes is the goalkeeper no longer have to keep 1 foot on the line where penalty is concerned, so they could go more deeper in the goal, where they will have a running momentum to make a save. So that benefit the goalkeeper. Another change that they have made is they will now put 8 balls around the field, of which 2 of those balls will be in the back of the goalkeeper. So now players cannot try to kill time off by not getting to the ball quick enough. Ball will be there for them to have access to. I believe another change was something to do with injury.
Selfish.
But I'm not too clear on that change.
All right, go.
I don't know if you guys remember the other changes, but those are the 2 that I remember.
Look it up until we let's soon get to Biko, because he could be under pressure to guys. He made the signing, so he better produce. As far as the changes, Blacks, we know you say Liverpool made the same change or 1 change last season. But if Liverpool have a fully fit squad, you have what? 5 forward players, 6 forward players right now? That any one of them, any 3 out of that can start. Now, if you have another 3 or 2 world-class players on the bench who are hungry for game, he's going to have to make changes.
Yes, and he will.
The 65th minute, he's going to have to make changes. If he's winning, he's going to have to make changes to give some players a run. If he's losing, he's going to have to make changes to try to change the game, because he's going to have those quality on the bench. So as long as Liverpool have a fully fit squad, especially up front, changes are going to be made. Arsenal, I can say the same, because right now, over on the left side, it is Martinelli have the starting role right now. But Smith Rowe, if fit, is going to be itching for a game. In the number 10, we have Odegaard, but Smith Rowe again. And Veer is going to need playing time here, you know. I'm not sure who the starting fullback is going to be on the left side. If it's Tierney or Zinchenko, either one of them.
Zinchenko.
You see me? So teams that have a good squad. Man U, this is not their final squad yet, because they're still doing business. Arsenal is still trying to do business. And if the rumors are correct and we get in Tielemans, it's gonna be interesting to see who's a starting three in that midfield, because with Odegaard being made captain, that means it's hard to bench him. But we see where Xhaka is a pivotal part in the Arsenal team.
There you go. Ben Xhaka.
We know Partey can be benched. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, Buju, an article pop up today.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. Go ahead.
So we're gonna touch on that before we finish. But yeah, so there are gonna be some teams that are even some small teams. Because if you look at a team like Palace have a bunch of young attacking players that play the same way. That if you notice last season, Vieira could put on any one of them or could start anyone. I mean, Olise, Zaha, Eze, Edward, I don't remember who's the next one. Well, the striker kid is more of a centre forward. But any one of them started, or if you go to the bench, any one of them coming on is like the identical player he was bringing on. So, like I said, even some of the small teams will benefit from that. Some teams, like probably a Leicester right now, who hasn't done much in the window, Everton, who looks depleted, they look very weak right now. You know, unless they're gonna be bringing up a lot of youth players, this might not really benefit them. The 5 change rule, but a lot of teams are gonna benefit from it. I see more pros and cons for the teams in the league this season with that happening.
Yeah.
There is a change.
It benefit the team them with the deeper squad. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Not just a big squad, but quality squad.
Yeah.
And you can have a whole heap of players and they don't have much quality.
Brax, the reason why Jurgen Klopp got to maximize those 5 subs is because he was the biggest campaigner for this move in the pandemic.
He was the same one who doesn't make the changes too, so I don't know. I see a lot I make the same changes. So again, it's a moot point. I think it's gonna be a fascinating one. And I think because of the World Cup, that's where you see, I think that World Cup is actually a bigger thing happening in the middle of the season, because what's the impact it's gonna have on teams? Are players gonna be sharper when they get back because they played in the World Cup? And these players who are off for over a month in the middle of the season when they're not used to this, because in England, these players are just not used to being off like that. So now they're gonna be off. Salah is gonna be off for over a month, not playing any football. Is he gonna start the season running? He's actually gonna be off longer than he was between the close of last season and this season. It almost feel like that way, or almost the same time. It's almost like a full off season. They're getting in the middle. I know they're gonna be training and doing practice games and doing all that stuff, but they're not gonna be playing really intense competitive games for over a month because of the World Cup this year. And the other players who are not at the World Cup, that's gonna be something that how will they really start? And the fact that you're gonna have a team not at the same level, because you're gonna have half the team probably away at World Cup and half of it back there, and then there are 2 different levels in terms of their fitness. How will that dynamics work?
Well,
you always wonder.
Well, don't forget, people got to schedule a friendly for teams that did not qualify for the World Cup.
Who's that?
I'm sorry?
Where's that?
I say there will be a lot of friendlies for country that did not make it to the World Cup in that month.
No, man, friendlies don't run between the World Cup. Not while World Cup going on. There's not going to be a lot of friendlies. Close to no, and a friendly also is not something. A friendly is not the intensity of a friendly is not the same as playing in the Premier League. You know, it's different. It's a completely different thing.
Right.
Even international games sometimes is not
Blacks.
Yeah.
You see, all of what you just mentioned, that are the same reason why I said teams more teams are going to take points off of Liverpool and City. Just watch and see. 85 points are winning the league this year. Mark Murray.
Those days of 85 points
85.
are dead and gone. That will never happen again. City and Liverpool has changed
Alright.
that. Now it's 90
Uh,
points in the league.
Alright. Alright, cool.
Buju, you're on an island. You're on an island all
City
by
and
yourself.
Liverpool alone are play ball. Where's that?
You on an island all by yourself with that prediction.
Alright, cool.
All right.
Yeah, go
Time to close the live, sir.
No, the subject I wanted to touch on. Hold on. Let me find the topic here real quick. So I don't know if you guys remember last season they were saying there were rumors about Granit Xhaka, some cards that he got in games that they were tying it to match fixing. Blacks, David.
No, I don't remember until you brought it up today. Until you put that article on the blog today. I wasn't aware of it.
That, like some of his cards that he got in games, you know, they were saying the FA
We're suspicious.
investigating them because they were saying it like match fixing because some of the bets that were placed and him getting a card at a particular time, you know, and then the way those cards were handed out, they look suspicious. No, nothing came of it, but today something popped up again, and oh bloody hell! Let me find my ad. Okay, here, exclusive. Granit Xhaka as investigators probing Arsenal star suspicious booking against Leeds in December are told of a possible criminal conspiracy involving the Albanian mafia. Now, I don't know if you guys know that he's actually Albanian by birth, even though he plays for Switzerland. I think his brother still plays for Albania.
Didn't know that. Continue.
Matter of fact. The FA's investigation was triggered by suspicious betting patterns that emerged towards the end of Arsenal's win at Ellen Road with £52,000 stake and Xhaka being booked in the final 10 minutes of the game.
That is some serious accusation.
But a £52,000 bet,
That he's gonna get booked.
he's going to get booked in the final 10 minutes. And I mean, us Arsenal fans have always questioned Thomas Xhaka.
But you're not the only one that questioned.
The way that he takes them, and some of them, the fact that, you know, you're saying, would this referee have given another player that card? So, honestly, I don't doubt it. The way that he gets some cards sometimes, some bonehead tackles that you see Xhaka make, I don't doubt it happening. Now, I didn't even know about the Albanian mafia before, but I do know that they are a tough set of people, you know. And if there's such a thing, and you're from there, and your family might be in threat, it's not.
Don't make no excuse to him already. You try to start make excuse to Xhaka already.
No, I'm not making an excuse, but I'm just saying I could see it happening.
Listen, those are some serious accusations. We're betting on the, doing things
I mean, I
that's
played
related.
for that. We've seen it in other sports where careers get ended for that. So, if found guilty, that same similar fate could happen to him.
That could end his career actually.
We saw where the Syria got watered down because of that, because of match fixing. Prior to the match fixing allegations with Inter, Juventus, and I don't remember which other teams were involved. The Syria was probably the hottest league back then.
Yep.
No, I was a fan of the English league. Syria was hot until those match fixing allegations. So we see what he can do. So, you know, Buju might be hoping that it is true because he likes Xhaka in the team. But outside of football,
I think they should deduct some points from Arsenal for that.
Hey, I think Sako gonna win. I think Sako is gonna win Young Player of the Season.
Hey, I don't agree with players being in the season for 3 years being considered as young players. No matter how young you want to be, you're now a senior pro in the league. He's been in 3 seasons already. I don't agree with it. Give some actual young players.
All right, me have to go to work. I'm on this. I mean, if you go to bed.
Okay.
That close your show? So I would say
the
Arsenal winning the league.
Oh, one more thing I gotta say. One more thing. I was looking at the schedule for some of the teams in the top 5, what have you. And I must say, Arsenal have a nice schedule to start the season.
When you worry about
What do you mean?
playing Man U?
What do you mean? Hey,
I thought
we look for Man U.
We worry about Arsenal.
So maybe my prediction, now that I think about it, was off.
Don't worry about it. Arsenal to win the league.
All right, Greg.
Arteta at the wheel, man.
Hey,
All right.
you see what I agree with Arsenal? I theme dark ass when you elite.
Who? What's up?
Aguero.
Remember saying I have a heart problem.
Yes,
you know,
of
so
course,
you
He
best-
said to win the league. He said,
But-
I expect Arsenal to finish better than Tottenham. And
Bojo,
No.
I thought I responded to that yesterday
Him
when
say
he posted that.
Arsenal is theme dark ass for win the league. Huh?
I didn't see that.
Remember saying the man have some heart problem. It's affecting his brain, the blood circulation to his brain.
If Arsenal wasn't
The
in
man
Europa,
The man
they
said
wasn't in the
Liverpool and City are the clear favorites.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with having a dark ass.
That donkey then.
And that mule.
Maybe somebody else, what do you think?
I'm out here today. All right, fans. So thanks for watching tonight. Bujo, when I get one of me should have do one. So
We can do a quick one tomorrow after the game, bro.
I won't be
Like
available.
30 minutes.
Shane might be available though, and Jiggy might be working till 10.
you know, if I could say this, I think what will make the live more successful is not to have it too often. That's just my opinion.
It's gonna be alive next week, Thursday. I'll be here at 9 o'clock. And that will be the preview of the next week. So 9 o'clock, you'll see us next week, Thursday.
All right, I might be doing one for Wizards or Sunday after the game.
Right. So I'm only good for one live, maybe two a season.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's it for me.
Yeah, Greg, next time I'm signing in a Wizards of Sports, bro.
All right, so Sunday a post game because no games on Monday, right? All the games gonna be finished on Sunday. All the weekend games gonna be finished.
That's right. I thought it was a Monday game also. No,
I think
you're right.
there's a Monday game. I'm not sure.
No, you're right. I think there's on Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I think next week there is a Monday game.
All right, so I can do a post game first live for Wizards of Sports. So look out for that one. But until next time, next Thursday, that is it for Free Sports TV. Continue to like, share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe bell. There's a lot more exciting debates. Next time we're gonna have Man U fans on the live, and once they're here, all hell break loose.
So we can laugh at them.
That's why
Let's go Liverpool.
All right, friends. That's it. Peace out. Thanks for joining, fellas. Be safe out there.
All right.